भद्रं कर्णैभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Let us now pray together, friends. We offer our salutations to the all-loving being who endows all beings with consciousness. We meditate on the Lord, who is the origin of the universe. Lord, Thou abidest in all. Thou art all. Thou assumest all forms. Thou art and goal of all. Thou art the self of all. Thou art existence, knowledge and bliss. Salutations unto Thee. May the world be peaceful. May the wicked become gentle. May all creatures think of mutual welfare. May their minds be occupied with what is spiritual and abiding. May our hearts be immersed in selfless love for the Lord. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. Dear friends, today is the birthday of Lord Rama, on the 9th day of this, after the new moon of this month, and it is observed with a lot of joy and festivities all over. And we have also a very special program today, that a guest speaker from Chicago, the head of the Chicago Vedanta Society, Vivekananda Vedanta Society of Chicago, Swami Ishatmananda, is here today to give a very special discourse on Lord Rama, Rama the best amongst men. Just a few words by way of introduction of Swami Ishatmananda. We have many things in common. I mean, yes, not just the things that are common amongst all human beings, like we all have one nose and 2 ears, and I don't mean that. But we all joined the order in the same year, 1976. We both entered our monastic training center the same year. We had our monastic vows also together. And then both of us at different times came to United States. So we have a lot in common. Now he is a wonderful speaker. There are some uncommon things also. He is very popular speaker. And on all Vedantic topics, he has a wonderful mastery. In addition to that, he is a very good singer as well. He was posted, he initially joined in the Advaita Ashrama, although he used to go to the center in Cherrapunji as well to begin his monastic life, but he was sent to Advaita Ashrama, and then he came to training center, was also involved for quite a few years with Purulia. There is a residential school, a wonderful school in Purulia in West Bengal. And then in many other educational centers, he had been doing very challenging, very highly difficult work to perform. And he was also the founding head of the Ramakrishna Mission Center at Andaman. So, and Then he came to US in, I think, 2013. Yeah. So, and since then he has been engaged in spreading the message of Vedanta and managing the Vivekananda Vedanta Society in Chicago. Then he has expanded by starting a center right in the city, Nivedita House. And also there is the, as you know, a retreat center in Michigan, Ganges, Michigan. So he is managing all these activities wonderfully. So now I request him to begin his speech. Ishatmananda ji.
Yashya smarana matrena janma samsara bandhanat vimuchyate namastashmai Vishnave Prabha Vishnave. The holy name of Lord Vishnu, by mere uttering of that name, makes one free from the bondage of birth and death. The Lord Vishnu, who in different times took form, avatara, he came down in different time, in different forms, and he came as Sri Ramachandra, about whom we will be discussing. Friends, greetings. This is a very holy day, and on this day Sri Ramachandra was born, and this is the day when the God came and took the human form only to help the human being. So we will be discussing about that. About Sri Ramachandra, in the 9th book, in Sanskrit called Skanda, in the 9th book, 10th chapter of the Bhagavatam, we find the description how Lord Vishnu took the form of Sri Rama and his 3 brothers. But we find a beautiful description in the Ramayana. And the biographer of Sri Ramachandra, the Valmiki, he wrote in great details about Sri Ramachandra. We will be taking the help of the Ramayana to understand Sri Rama. Who was Sri Rama? They said, one day Valmiki was sitting by the side of a river. Then the Narada came, the Rishi Narada, a great sage, a scholar, and he had the special capacity to move around everywhere to collect the information. And so obviously wherever he went, people were eager to listen from him what is happening all around. Today, I think Google has taken that position. You go to Google and you get all information. The Narada came, and the Valmiki was sitting over there after some discussion. He said, and he asked that Valmiki, I will quote the Sanskrit because it is so beautifully, he is asking, Ko asmin sampratam loke gunavan kascha viryavan. I will ask you to count. See how many qualities he is asking. In our present time, O Narada, is there anyone who is having all these qualities? One person having all these qualities. What are the? Gunavan, kascha viryavan, then dharmagyascha, kritagyascha, satyavako, didhabrataha. Virtuous, grateful, faithful, determined to keep his promises. Atmoban ko jita krodha dutiman ko anasuyakaha. Self-confident, can control his anger, handsome and forgiver, Kasya bibhyati devascha jata roshasya samyuge. But when he becomes angry, even the gods are afraid of him. Have you counted how many qualities? All these qualities. How many? 10. So these 10 qualities. So Sri Rama came, when the God is coming, taking the human form to help the human being to keep up the path of righteousness. When Sri Rama came, that time the human society was taking form. So these qualities were necessary. If not all the 10, at least some of the qualities. And we find all the 10 qualities present in that Sri Rama. Now, when he asks this, is there anyone who is virtuous, grateful, faithful, determined, self-confident, can control the anger, handsome, forgiver, and all this? Then the Narada replied, and that is also so poetic. He said, Vishnuna sadrisho virye. In the might, he is like the Vishnu himself, the all-powerful God. Somavat priyadarshanaha. And about his beauty, he is just like the moon. So beautiful. Kalagni sadisha krodhe. But when he becomes angry, then he is like the fire, the Dumde fire. And then Shamaya Prithvi Samaha. But as a forbearance, he is like the earth. So these are the wonderful way he is replying. And who is he? I know that person. He is the son of the king Dasharatha. King Dasharatha was a great king. His kingdom, now people think that small, that kingdom, no. He was having a huge, big kingdom, very powerful. And his son, the eldest son, Sri Ramachandra, is having all these qualities. Now another, the Goswami Tulsidasji, he was a votary, a priest who used to all the time worship Sri Rama and nobody else. And he saw in his meditation the Sri Rama. He followed the path of Sri Rama and wrote a beautiful book, Ramacharit Manasa. He was the Manasa. He was continuously thinking as if he is leaving at the time of Rama. He also said, and there, Tulsidas ji is mentioning that Parvati, the wife of Lord Shiva, he was sitting, Shiva and Parvati both, and now and then Shiva was offering pranam to someone. Parvati told, whom you are offering pranam so frequently? He said, the Supreme God who has taken the human form. Parvati expressed her doubt. Do you think truly the Supreme God, all-pervading God, has taken that form as a human form over there? And Sri Rama, is it truly that Supreme God? Then the Lord Shiva is telling, dear Parvati, you are aware that to protect Dharma, the Supreme God takes the human form, and this time he has taken the form of Sri Rama. So this is also coming from another point of view. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he is also mentioning about Sri Rama. He was the votary, he was the priest of Ram Lala. He was very fond of Ram Lala. Padma Puran, they are also talking about and giving wonderful description of Sri Rama. Ramante yogino ante satyanande chidatmani iti ramupade nasa param brahma vidhiyate. What is this? When we are meditating, what actually we get? The great joy. The Brahmagyana, the yogis, withdrawing all their senses, and then they are becoming completely one-pointed, merging in Lord Brahma. It's not, Brahman, all-pervading consciousness, and who has been termed as the Ananda Sarupa, embodiment of joy, and that joy is Rama. What is Rama? Ramayate iti Rama. When we find the joy, and that is Rama. So here we find all these qualities in the Ramachandra. But friends, when the God is coming and taking the human form, there must be some problem, because in the Bhagavad Gita we find Sri Krishna, he is also mentioning in this way, Yada yada hi dharmasya glani bhavati bharata. Whenever there is a problem, when the people, they forget that they are divine, and they always think that they are only the body, and their concentration comes on the body, then the God comes, the God who has created the best creation. He has created everything, but the best creation is human being. Why? Because human being can think. They can discriminate, they can judge, they can inquire, they can understand. So that is the beauty of the human being. In the Bible they say, man was made out of God's own image. What does it mean? Own image. Does it mean that we all look like God? No. Image means the capacity. What is that capacity? We can think, we can understand. So this thinking capacity to understanding capacity, the subtlest of the subtle thing, human brain can understand. So that is the beauty of the human being. But sometimes we make the mistake. Sometimes we are in problem. Sometimes we are in doubt. We do not know what to do. Then God comes. I will tell you 3 stories, we can say, small incidents that happened almost at the time of Sri Ramachandra. One, sage Sutikshna. He was also a sage but young. So he went to another sage. His name was Agastha. He said, I am in great doubt. Can you please help me? What is that? Agastha asked. Then the Sutikshna said, I do not understand which path is the best to get the liberation. Karma or jnana? Karma means the work or the path of knowledge. Which one is the best? Then the Agastha said, look at the bird. He is flying with the help of 2 wings. So obviously, we need both. Karma means the action. And in those days, the karma means different type of yajnas. There's to perform the lighting the fire, and they'll be performing with some prayer and all that. So is it the thing that we should do, or the knowledge, path of knowledge? When Agastha gave that reply, for the liberation both are necessary, then he understood that we have to give the reference. When he says something and we give the reference to prove that whatever I said, it is also true. Then he mentioned the second story. And in the second story, we find a father and a son. The father was the guru, of course, the teacher, and son was the student. The name of the son was Karunya, and the father was Agnibeshya. Now this son, after finishing his study, scriptural study, he stopped doing anything. The father was expecting that he has completed the spiritual study. Now he will surely do different type of things, but he was not doing anything. One day father called him and said, what is it? Why you are not doing anything? He said, Father, you are my guru also. I am really perturbed, disturbed. I do not know what to do. Which path I should take? Because in the scripture I find they say you must do the karma. You must do the work. Then only you will reach the goal. At the same time, the same scripture says, without the path of knowledge, you can never get the liberation. So naturally, which to follow? Path of karma or path of jnana? That in two incidents we are finding this was the confusion. Then to make the karunya and to convince, the father said, well, I will tell you what happened in the life of another person, Arishtanemi. The Arishtanemi was the royal sage, Rajarshi. He was a king. At the same time, he was a rishi. So Rajarshi. What happened to him? Rajarshi, Arishtanemi, one day he was meditating. Then he thought, what I am doing? As a king, I am doing all these things, the administration. Then when I am going to get the liberation? So he gave all the kingdom to his son, when inside the forest started practicing meditation and withdrawing all the senses. Then the Indra, the god of gods, he sent his messenger to him. So why you are doing so much of austerity? You better come to heaven and enjoy the heavenly life. Then he asked, is that heavenly life is permanent? No, it is not. As long as all your good karmas are there, you can be there, then you have to come down. In the Upanishad also we find, Nakasya pristhate sukrite anubhutve imam lokam hinataram bhavishanti, in the Kathopanishad. As long as you are doing, your stock of good work is there, so long you can be there. Again you have to come down, maybe in this life as a human being, or maybe, God forbid, in other beings also. So, that way, then he said, no, I am searching for the eternal peace, eternal happiness. Can Indra give that? Indra said, no, but I can introduce you with a great sage. And who is that great sage? Arishtanemi, that he was introduced with our Valmiki. But before that, let us just take these points. What happened to Shutikshna and Agastha? Only one problem. Which path is the best? Karma or Jnana? The next, Karunya and Agnivesha, same problem. Path of karma or Jnana. Then third, Arishtanemi, path of karma or Jnana. And then he is meeting the final, the fourth thing, that is the conversation between Sri Ramachandra and his guru Vasishtha. Valmiki told, so I am not going to give the answer, but I will tell you what conversation happened between these two. So that is called the Yoga Vasishtha, and there also we find the same thing. So what was the problem at that time of the Ramachandra? For those who were practicing spirituality, it's not the untruth, it's not the stealing, it's not other things. It is only the confusion of the karma and the jnana. That means our confusion was, is this holy work or the worldly work? The problem of secular or sacred. The secular and sacred. Friends, if you are the students of Vedanta and you are attending these classes for so long, you know who created this universe? God. And out of which he created? Out of his own self, the God himself. So, where from the bad things came? From the God. Good things from the God. Then what we are going to do? Everything God has done, but as a human being, God has also given us a little separation from God through what? Ego. And as because the ego is there, so we are separated from God. We understand that. And the spiritual life means to remove the ego. How we will do that? This is the question. How to remove the ego? The moment we remove the ego, we see the God is there already. But how to remove? Two things are there. One through karma, another through knowledge. Confusion continued for a long, long time. Even today, some people will say, through karma you can never realize God. But Sri Ramachandra came, he was having the same problem, and then he asked his guru. We will come to that point. Here, Ramachandra, we will start when he was 13 years old, a young man, completed his study. Then he came to his father Dasharatha and said, Father, I like to go out and see how is the society, like to go to different pilgrimages, like to meet the holy people. Father thought, okay, the rich people's children, they don't go out. They're surrounded by all these good things. They can't understand what is happening in the outside world. But father thought, my son will become the king, he needs to know all this. It's better that he should go. With some friends and Ramachandra went out. But afterwards he came back. Father noticed that he has come back, but didn't notice that a great change has come in him. What's the change? He was not eating food properly. He was not talking with people. He wanted to stay all alone, continuously thinking something. A great change has come. Father was busy with his work, because suddenly when he was sitting, and then one rishi came, a very powerful rishi, Vishwamitra. He came and told king, I am having some problem. Some tyrants, some bad people, they are disturbing my regular practices. I want to do some yajnas, but they are coming and disturbing me. Send your son. The king told, son, why? But king's advisor and his guru, Vasishtha, was sitting over there. He told, it will be good for Sri Rama. You better send Rama. This is the story many of you know. Now Sri Ramachandra came. He is 13 years young man and so beautiful, but his father noticed that he has emaciated. And he was not talking with people. He was not looking at other people. Then the father told, dear Ram, what has happened to you? He told, Father, I am really very, very disturbed. But why? And then Sri Rama started telling this. Sri Rama was asking, Vasishtha, Vishwamitra, all they were sitting. And Sri Rama said, Jayate mriyate loko, mriyate jananaya cha. A beautiful Sanskrit. So I am quoting you from that. Jayate mriyate loko. The people are born to die. And they die to take birth again. This circle is going on. I cannot understand why. First, asthira sarva evaite. All are so impermanent. Everything is changing, everything is changing. So when we were children, we used to think when we will grow up, like my father. When I became like my father, of course we don't like to become the grandfather, we like to go back to our younger days, but there is no chance, you have to go up. So constantly things are changing. We notice it. But even then, we are not aware of it. We notice, we see, but we are not aware. The moment we are aware that things are changing, what will happen? We'll try to go out of it. Same thing happened in the life of, if you remember, the Lord Buddha. He also saw those changes. And in the Shankaracharya, in his great book, Vivek Chudamani, he is explaining, when a person sees that all these things are burning, everything is changing, all are going towards the mouth of the death, then he becomes afraid. He runs to his guru. Please save me. Swami Vivekananda, he was a young boy of 16, 17 years old. And one day he found that everything is changing. He is going to die. He ran from Calcutta to Dakshineshwar to his guru. This is the first step of spirituality. When we feel, truly feel, that things are changing. Everything is changing. Kim me rajyena kim bhogaihi. Oh Father, what I am going to do with this kingdom? What I am going to do with this enjoyment? Bhogaihi. I don't need all this. Because everything is changing. Someday it will all die. Rather, I will go and try to meditate so that I can know the truth. Who I am? Can you please tell me? He was asking the teachers. Who I am? Who am I? Kim idam agatam? What is this that has come? You know that most of the monks, when you start our life, so naturally the first question, who I am? Who am I? So that is the search, we go on searching. So one day I went to somebody's house and they asked me to sit outside the room. I was sitting waiting for a cup of tea and they were arranging. Suddenly young small girl, she was playing somewhere. She entered into the room, seeing me sitting over there with this dress and completely new man. She was a little bit afraid. And then slowly she came near and asked, who are you? Then I told, that is exactly the question I am searching, answer I am searching. Who am I? Then she was very much concerned, went inside, perhaps consulted with some mother or some aunties, and came back. And she was asking, can't you remember your name? I told, that much I remember, that is also false. But anyway, I am not going to talk to you about that. So who am I? I am not this body. I am not this mind. Then who am I? The Vedanta is going on searching, and that wonderful brain that God has given to us, that is the wonderful gift. We are all religious people, but what religion? The moment you tell someone, hey, you are a Hindu, and go and beat those people, they are not Hindu. I am so happy, right? I am a Hindu, I should go and fight with them? No problem, I am going. Is this religion? And they are also telling you should do this. This is not religion. Religion means to understand the truth. And what is the truth? I am not this body. I am not this mind. I am not these thoughts. Then who am I? That question started haunting. And if it is so deep, then only it is possible for one to realize God. So God himself came in the form of Sri Rama, and he was showing it. As because the human form, he has to behave like a human, and what a best human should do? This question. Then, Shammati idam katam dukhyam. How does the sorrow come to an end? She was asking Vashishta. In this world, there are only two truths are there. One is Vyavaharika, temporary truth. Another is Paramarthika, eternal truth. The Vyavaharika and a permanent, eternal. One of our Swami, he was giving a lecture in Vedanta, and he was telling, all that you see is nothing but the God. Immediately someone raised his hand, Sir, I have a question. What? Suppose a burglar comes into my room, what shall I do? Oh, burglar, then you have to worship him by calling 911. The burglar should be, so what is that? Vyavaharika Satya. In the Vyavahara, and in different books, in different stories, they said, but the Paramarthika Satya is, each soul is potentially divine, as Swami Vivekananda said. Each soul is potentially divine. And we have to manifest that divinity. And how? Understanding what? Two truths. One is, in the Bhagavad Gita, it says in this way, Kshetra and Kshetrajna. What is Kshetra? This universe, this body, this me. And what is Kshetrajna? Who understand the truth about it. When the body and my eyes and nose and everything intact is there, somebody said, oh, he is dead. How can that be? Everything is there. What is absent? That is the truth. That is called Paramarthika Satya. So it goes out. And here, Kshetra, Kshetragya. Then, Drishya and Drashta. Drashta, I am seeing you. And then only your existence. If I can't see you, there is no existence. You come and stand before me, a blind person can't see. And a beautiful lady standing before him and say, hey, look at my beauty. Is it? You are beautiful? Good. Go away. For him, it doesn't matter at all. So like that, I observe this thing, so it is happening. If I don't observe, nothing is there. Suppose somebody has come to sing and there is no one to listen, what will happen? Either he has to sing for himself or thinking that God is listening. Otherwise, you have to stop and go away. Why? Because we need two drashta. Always take the position of the drashta. I am the master. I am observing. So Sri Ramachandra is asking this question. Jagat and Shakshi. The different way it is expressed, the same thing. The two different words they have used. Jagat means whatever is happening all around, and Shakshi, he is constantly looking at it without any affected by that. So one should ponder about, and the Ramachandra concluding, he was a young boy of 13, but he studied the whole scripture, and not only that, within his own soul, he realized, and then he is telling to his gurus, Tarabo opi hi jivanti. Even the trees are also surviving. Jivanti mriga pakshinaha. Animals, mriga, pakshinaha, the birds, they are also living. Is that life? Just taking birth and eating and someday they are dying? No. Wow, who is really living? He said, Sajivati. He is only surviving, he is only living. Manoyasya mananenaiva jivati. He alone lives whose mind is alive by reflection. This is the human birth. The majority of the people, the human birth, they think that only thing that we have to do, that when we grow up, we become strong, we go to make the body all right strong, and sometimes we go to spa. I have seen that spa. I never entered into that. And I go to spa and then become very fresh and then do this and that. And for what? Eating, eating and eating. And some enjoyment. Then, one day, I die. Is that the life? Life of an animal. You have to think about. So the thinkers, sometimes some people, they used to think about how to save the people. So they started developing the medicine and different type of machineries. So Hindus, they gave the name, they are all Brahmanas, thinkers. Great respect for them. The Brahmanas doesn't mean only doing the puja. The Brahmanas are great thinkers. So here Sri Ramachandra said, I would prefer to die. Banchami dehotyagam. I prefer to die instead of living like this. Can you help me? Friends, we are coming to the conclusion. There were two rishis, the great rishis. One is Vishwamitra, another is Vashishta. The Vishwamitra was visiting. So Vishwamitra said, son, your thoughts are really, really good. You have understood everything. Sarvam Vijñātamanasi. You have understood everything. A very subtle thing. But I won't answer. Because your family guru, say, Vashishta will give the answer. Then the Vashishta started giving the answer. This conversation is a beautiful book, the very good book. Is a must read for the Vedanta students. Yoga Vashishta Shara. Sometimes it says Yoga Vashishta Gita also. This Yoga Vashishta Shara, and here the conversation goes, but I will only quote one or two what the Vashishta said, and I conclude. Vashishta mentioned Rama, your problem is this world and another world of spirituality, right? And suppose you change it completely, you start thinking that this world is also spiritual. Then what will happen? Everything is spiritual, isn't it? He said, human efforts are two types. One, following the scripture, another, contrary to the scripture. They don't understand the scripture, and some people, they understand scripture. Scripture means some of the instructions of those people who realize the truth. Apta bhakya. Apta means realized. What the scripture says? Perform your duties as best as possible, perfectly. Then wash your hands and say, thank you. Don't wait for the result. In the Bhagavad Gita, wonderfully it is mentioned, the only work you have the right, not for the result. Do it perfectly. And then withdraw your mind. Thank you. Then the result, if you are not expecting, there is no problem for you. And in the Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna mentioned in a very simple way, Mam Anushmara Yuddhacha. It's a Dvaitin point of view. I am everything that I am doing for the God. Mam Anushmara. A great movement came and they started telling this whole world is full of misery. Of course it is. It is true. But the misery for whom? Who understand it? Otherwise not. So you have to strive. In the early morning if you get up, in any place, all people are running, jogging, doing the exercises. And when the summer is approaching, even the daytime also they will be doing. If you go and tell, hey, it is of no use, someday you are going to die, even if you are doing the exercise, you will die. So don't do the exercise. Is that the proper advice? No. It is of no use. You will die one day, so don't do exercise. It is not. As long as life is there, we must have to strive. And whatever the intellect that I am having, I must put that for the service of the society, develop the society. But I am not going to be attached to that. This is what's called Jivana Mukta. The whole Ramachandra's life, Sri Ramachandra, he lived that Jivana Mukta Avastha. Whatever the responsibilities and the duties, as a son, as a student, as a husband, and as a king, I will do. Even as an enemy. When you declare me as an enemy, okay. Because they are Kshatriyas. The Kshatriya will always take up the challenges. So this way, but at the same time, I am not involved in it, completely detached. That is what Sri Ramachandra. What about our past karma? He is telling, the Guru is telling, you see, you can work in this way. He said, okay, from now onwards, I will try to do this. But what about my past karma? Hindu believes in the karma. And the karma is having 3 bags. One bag full, but lock has not been opened, so it is there. Sanchit. Sanchit means all stock is there. It will open, and what will come out, we do not know. Another is already opened, and that is exactly what is happening now. We are using that karma phala. And third bag, we are filling up. In this life, whatever we are doing, we are now filling. So these 3 karma phala. So he is telling, what about that bag, which I have not still opened? Then he is telling, no. Vasishta is telling to, Divida basana buha, shubha chaiva ashubhascha. Divida basanas chaiva. In Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, one gentleman asked, sir, it is okay. Now we are listening to you, and we have understood that we should do all good work. But what about the bad work that we have already done? Who is going to take the responsibility of that? We will be suffering, isn't it? Sri Ramakrishna said, no. For the devotees, calculations are completely different. The God will take care of that. If you are doing good now, according to the scripture, then all your past karma will be taken care by the God. Here we find Divida, the two different types, Bashana, Buha, mental impressions are twofold, good and bad. Then Vashishta is advising, Paurushena Prajatnena Yojaniya Shubhepati. Inside the mind there are two different types. One is bad and one is good. And the book of Tintin, you will find that the Tintin's dog, the Snowy, always having this problem. Have you read that book, the Tintin? And Tintin's dog, Snowy, he was going for a good job. And suddenly he saw that there is something for him to eat. Then he was thinking, shall I go for eating or shall I do my master's job? So this confusion, good and bad, all is in our mind. Then what needs you to force you to go to the good? Because it is difficult, you have to climbing up. You are climbing up, so you need the force. Paurushena. Paurusha means the mental energy, mental force. Prayatnena. Again and again you have to try. Yojaniya Shubhepati. And you have to go in that way. And the four different things we must follow. What? First, here the Vashishta said, Shama, tranquility. So whatever good or bad is happening, let it go on. Be tranquil, calm, composed. Life is a long journey. Second, Bichara, inquiry. Why this happened? I was so friendly with that man, suddenly the gentleman is behaving very peculiarly. What happened to him? Maybe some changes. Third, Santosha, contentment. Whatever I get, I'm fine. Okay. Containment. And the fourth one, Sadhu Sangama, holy company. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna also gave the four, but he started from the Sadhu Sangha. Sadhu Sangha, Nirjan Vas, then Vichar and Prarthana. So Sadhu Sangha means when you come to these holy places, read books or listen to talks of the Swamis, so from there you get some information. Oh, this is the way we should go. And then you have to strive. That much we can do. That much the other people can do. Guru can do. Scripture can do. But who is going to act on that? The individual. How? Strong effort. Prayatnena. You have to go on doing. And Vashishta is telling, the mind becomes the individual soul just as the wave from the ocean. Ocean is the main body, and the waves are not separate from the ocean. The individual mind that we are having, it is also the same part of the God. So when that is so, maybe that I am a big wave or somebody is small wave, but we are all the same. And there is no differences. All are going in the same. Because like ocean, on God, we are all same. The moment we understand this, and slowly, Manomayam Ato Vishyam Yannama Paridishyate. Please come to know that Vishya that we see is all Manomaya. I look at something and say, okay, beautiful. Another say, beautiful? This color, you like it? I don't like it. So same thing, but Manomaya. Somebody is liking, somebody is not. So these depend on the mental attitude. If our mental attitude is positive, everything is good. Everything. O Rama, the universe which you is seen all around is made of the mind. O Raghava, avidya, samsriti, chittam, bandho, ajnana manaktama. The nescience, the worldly thoughts, stuck-up thoughts, bondage, ignorance, mind, darkness, these are the names of the waves of thoughts. When Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, in one place he said, that I have realized the Advaita Jnana. Advaita Jnana means knowledge of one, or Dvaita, no two, one. When you have the knowledge of one, everything is nothing but the God, somebody is successful, I won't feel jealous. Oh, I'll also try. And according to my capacity, I'll reach to my goal, that is sufficient. Then no jealousy at all. Only all happiness. Think of it. Somebody is successful, I pray for them. Somebody is not behind me, I also pray for them. So that is a beautiful life, and that is called spiritual life. And that is full of joy, tranquility. And you need not to bother or depend on anyone. Always the fountain of joy will be there. And those who renounce the whole world, they know on that note, they know as Paramahamsa Sannyasi. Paramahamsa, the great swan. It is also floating on the water. But water cannot make it wet. So that is the way we should live in this world, but at the same time, completely Jivana Mukta. So what Sri Ramachandra taught us? This condition. Jivana Mukta condition. Living in this world, but not of the world. I am with you, helping you, but I am not connected with anything. Whatever you like, you do. I am completely free. Why? Because I know I don't belong to this. That is a beautiful way of living. Suppose I go to visit some place. I went to South Africa. A lot of problems are there now. And the people who are living over there, they were telling, see, these are the things, that is the thing. I go, oh, is it? Is it? But afterwards I know my return ticket is already booked. No problem for me. So I went, I saw, I felt, and then I told, okay, I'll pray for you. I boarded the flight and came back. So same way, not that we should not be concerned for them. We should. But I'm just giving an example. When you go as a tourist, we see that place. We mix with the people, but don't get involved in that. Similarly, this life, we are all tourists over here. My real identity is somewhere else. So that is exactly what the Ramachandra said. When he said that I have to fight, he took up the arms and okay, I will fight. And when he found that a friend, okay, you are my friend, he protected the friend. Talked with their brothers, his brothers, protected his wife, and all the responsibilities he performed. But the moment it came, he withdrew the mind. That's all. Friend, that is exactly what Sri Ramachandra taught us. Not to give up the society and shun the work. And everybody put on the gerua and sit somewhere expecting somebody else will come and bring the food. Not like that. So this is the way we have to think. Whatever the responsibility I am having, in whatever condition I am living, I should do that perfectly and at the same time unattached way. So Jivana Mukta. This is what Sri Ramachandra taught us. So that is the path of Sri Ramachandra is known as Ramayana. Rama, Ayana. Ayana means the path. So we should go according to Sri Ramachandra. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And thank you all.
Many thanks, my dear Ishatmananda ji. It was a very good exposition on the message that emanates from this incarnation of God, Lord Rama. Rama, like all other incarnations, it is a very special phenomena, very difficult to understand that how the divine, all-pervading, gets compressed in just one body. Well, it is difficult to understand because of our ignorance that how we have a particular idea, and that is why we don't understand things which are beyond. So it is, he brought out many important things that it is for our training. We learn from them. That is the purpose of Advent, that God assumes human form. Because for being human, for human beings, that is how we learn. A human alone has to come to teach us. In our schools, only the teachers' positions are given only to human beings and not to some cat or dog. So God also, when wants to teach us, has to assume a human form. So it is the Ramayana that, look, this is how Rama lived the life, so that we can learn from that. It is walking in the footsteps of Rama. It is the qualities that he had expressed. These qualities we can think of and imbibe and see that this world is, as he was concluding, he told that this is just a place that we came as tourists. This is not our abode. Our abode is the self, the divine. This is the place that we have come just for a visit. There is a nice story. A man had gone to one sage, and that sage was living somewhere at a difficult place in the Himalayas. And then when he went, he was carrying a small bag with his clothing and all. And when he saw that small cave that the sage was staying, he asked the sage, "Well, you don't seem to have any belonging. You are just having just your clothing and all. How do you live like this?" The sage asked, "Well, I see you also have just a small bag with you. You came just with a small bag." The visitor said, "Well, but I am a tourist." And the sage said, "Well, so I am too. We are all tourists here. Let us remember that this all has to be given up. And so hold on to that true essence that we just heard about." And my heartfelt thanks to Ishatmananda ji for taking the trouble to come for this illuminating discourse. While I'll be telling you the upcoming programs, I request Vishwanath to do the customary offertory. And then there will be the Arati. Today there is also a music concert about the musical offering to Lord Rama. About Rama, there are so many wonderful songs that get sung all over. So we have a very accomplished musician, Dattatreya Velankar, Pandit Dattatreya Velankar, and the performance will be soon at 6:15. So next Sunday, it is again a special Sunday, the Easter Sunday. So on this Easter Sunday, the topic of discussion is "Rejoice, there is no death for us." The other programs during the week, the Tuesday and Friday classes at 7:30 p.m., they will go on as usual. Tuesdays, the topic is Sri Ramakrishna and his divine play. And on Fridays, it is Shvetashvatar Upanishad. There is a spiritual retreat coming up on May 11th, Saturday, May 11th. And it is to be given by Swami Ishatmananda. He has chosen somewhat unusual topic. He said, the topic will be Parliament of Religions. Means he will be speaking about two religions in two different lectures, Christianity and Sikhism. So that is on May 11th. To participate in it, you have to register. So that's about it, friends. Let us conclude with the closing prayers. There will be now Arati, And after Arati, you are all invited to join the music concert. May the Divine, who is Father in heaven of the Christians, Holy One of the Jewish faith, Allah of the Muslims, Buddha of the Buddhists, Tao of the Taoists, Great Spirit of the Native Americans, Ahura Mazda of the Zoroastrians, and Brahman of the Hindus, lead us from the unreal to the real, from darkness to light, from death to immortality. May the all-loving being manifest himself unto us and grant us abiding understanding and all-consuming divine love. Peace, peace, peace be unto all.